Yo, what's good, you guys? Hope y'all are having a fantastic day. And I know what you're probably thinking by the title of this video. Cooper Flagg is coming to my team. Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, yes, all of these guys are coming to my team. Now I know that it's still a couple of months away, but I am referring to what is known as the next promo. It's a promo that 2K has dropped for the last few years around the end of June, and it includes the top lottery picks and the most coveted players of that year's NBA draft. So if we go over here to the NBA 2K database, we're going to be looking at previous year's drops with the next promo. We're going to be looking at some of the players that they've dropped, around what time of year that they've dropped, just so that we can gauge when this year's next promo is going to come out, and speculating which players could be coming. So I don't remember when the very first next promo dropped. It could be all the way back in 2K20. So let's take a look right here. So if we type in the next promo, I guess that's all I had to do right here. We can see the next promo that came out the 25th of June for 2020. And in this class, we got the #1 pick in Anthony Edwards, other players such as Cole Anthony. We also got James Wiseman right here. And I remember this card was really good when he first dropped, but he is going to go down as one of the all-time busts in NBA draft history. All the Warriors had to do was draft this guy right here, LaMelo Ball, and we would have had a very different outlook on the NBA right now. Being that this was the very first next promo that they ever dropped, this was one of the craziest concepts that they ever introduced, and I thought that it was awesome. And obviously they've been rolling with it every year, so it's probably going to continue on to this year with 2K25 and the 2025 NBA draft class. We'll get to that in just a second, but look at these guys: Onyeka Okongwu, who also played with LaMelo on Chino Hills; RJ Hampton, who didn't really amount to anything in the league. So that's only 6 players that they dropped in this next promo. The #1 pick, Cole Anthony; the 2 and the 3, I believe Onyeka was like the 6th or 7th pick. RJ Hampton might have been he was a lottery pick. So they only dropped 6 players for NBA 2K20's next promo. So, you know, it's obviously gotten bigger over the years. This was a COVID year, so it was obviously really weird. You know, we didn't have a normal year. We didn't have March Madness, so the NBA draft was a little wonky, but they did have the first few picks of this draft in the game. So that's definitely what we're going to be expecting with this year. But let's keep on looking at other 2K's next promos. Going on to 2K21, the next promo, which came out July. Oh, that's right. So in 2K21, the next drop came out about a month later than usual because it was a COVID delayed season. And in this drop, we got players such as Ayo Dosunmu. We got Cade Cunningham, the #1 pick. We got Corey Kispert. You know, he's still in the league. I can't believe he's been in the league for that long. Davion Mitchell. We had Evan Mobley, Jalen Green. So we had the top 3 picks right here in Cade, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Green. Jalen Johnson. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that he was drafted all the way back then too. Jalen Suggs, Jonathan Kuminga, Keon Johnson, Moses Moody, Trey Mann. So there was a lot more players dropped in 2K21 as opposed to 2K20. And they also came out with lower tiered versions of these Dark Matter cards right here. It's really hit or miss with some of these players. Sometimes you'll get players that aren't drafted as high. You'll obviously get like the #1, #2 pick, but we're not going to be getting every single player. So that kind of sucks. Like last year, we didn't get Bronny James in 2K24, which was kind of lame, but we usually get a few lottery picks. We even got an undrafted guy last year, and we'll get to that here in a second. So that was pretty interesting. But yeah, this was 2K21's next promo, and it came out July 29th because it was a COVID delayed year. So this kind of throws a wrench into the time frame that we're going to be expecting this year. So let's look at the other 2Ks and see when those drops come out to gauge what we can expect for this year. Moving on to NBA 2K22. So this was more in line with NBA 2K20's timeline drop. So it was the 23rd of June. So we got players such as AJ Griffin, who's already out of the league, which is pretty crazy, but we got Ben Mathurin, Chet Holmgren. I know this card was really crazy when he first came out. Dyson Daniels, he's obviously a beast, 6'7" point guard. Jabari Smith, which was the #3 pick. Where do we got the #1 pick right here? Who's the #1 pick? Oh, Paulo. Where's Paulo at? Yeah, Paulo's right here. So we had Paulo Banchero. He's the #1 pick. So we're usually getting like the first 5 picks of the NBA draft in these next promos. We had Tari Eason, who's like 17. Mark Williams, late lottery. Keegan Murray was like the #4 pick. Johnny Davis is already out of the league too. I think he got waived by the Grizzlies when he got traded. So he didn't really amount to nothing, but we're looking at past 2Ks just to see what we can gauge for the future. Jaden Ivey, obviously a really good player. Same thing with Jalen Duren, Jabari Smith. So not all of these guys were, you know, like the best players in their draft. So we definitely missed some players from the draft class of 2022, but you get about like the first 5 picks or so with Chet Holmgren, Jabari Smith, Paulo, Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray. I remember, yeah, Chet Holmgren was an absolute animal this game. Dyson Daniels, being the 6'7" point guard he is, was a beast. So that was the draft class of 2022 in NBA 2K22. And let's move on to NBA 2K23. Looking up the next promo. Now I remember these a lot more clear. They're more fresh in my mind with players players such as this Amin Thompson right here. It's funny because he's just in a gray shirt and then Asar is just in a black shirt. But obviously Amin Thompson, he was one of my favorite point guards to use towards the end of the year. Yeah, so this one also came out June 22nd. So that's about the time frame that we're going to be expecting for this year. But we got players such as Anthony Black, the Thompson twins, obviously Brandon Miller with that number 2 pick. And we can't talk about this draft without acknowledging the generational superstar that is Victor Wembanyama. This card right here, obviously, I mean, I remember spending $50 to get this Wemby. 7'5" at the small forward spot is insane for an invincible Wemby. I mean, he was game breaking that year. It was so fun using that card. It was really arcadey at that stage of the game using Victor, and it was so fun. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you guys remember using Victor in NBA 2K23 before he was in the NBA, and that was obviously like a huge thing that not a lot of people really thought about. And that's why I also wanted to make this video, because not a lot of people are probably thinking about Cooper Flagg in this year's MyTeam. So it's obviously a very exciting thing when players such as Victor Wembanyama are being dropped in 2K before they're actually in the NBA. So yeah, this was a really fun card. We had the other base Victor right here. We also got Keontae George right here. Hey, shout out to you, little bro. Love Keontae on the Jazz, man. Jarris Walker, Kaysen Wallace, Grady Dick, Cam Whitmore, Anthony Black. So if these were the only players that were dropped in the next promo, obviously there's a few missing. I mean, we had about like the first 5 picks. So, oh, that's right. We didn't have Scoot Henderson in this drop. We didn't get Scoot Henderson. We probably didn't get a couple of other players. Let's look up the 2023 NBA draft because it's a little more fresh in our minds than, 2021, 2022. Let's see what the picks were. Let's see what players were missing from NBA 2K23's next promo. As I said, we didn't get Scoot Henderson. We got Anthony Black. We didn't get Bilal, which was kind of weird because he was Wemby's teammate in France. We didn't get Taylor Hendricks. Is that true? We didn't get Taylor Hendricks? Huh. So we got Keontae George, but we didn't get Taylor Hendricks. That just stands out to me because I'm a Jazz fan, obviously. Okay, Derek Lively would have been a beast. Jordan Hawkins wasn't in it. Kobe Buffkin, Jalen Hood-Schifino, Jaime Jaquez, Brandon Pajemski. So a few of these players weren't as well regarded and well known in this draft as they are today, as they've made names for themselves in the NBA. So yeah, so there's definitely going to be a few players missing from the 2025 NBA draft in NBA 2K25, but we'll get there in just a second. That was NBA 2K23. It was a really fun next drop, obviously, with Victor and the Thompson twins. And let's move on to NBA 2K24. Looking up the most recent next drop, it was June 26th, and this was on a Wednesday. So all these other updates were dropped on a Thursday. So just depending on when the NBA draft was, that'll determine when this drop happens this year. So we obviously had a lot more players in this drop than usual. So we had about 12 of them. We didn't even get the number 1 pick in this game, Zachary Risachet, which is kind of weird. We did get the number 2 pick in Alex Sarr. He was projected to go number 1 for a while, but obviously that didn't happen, and he was the number 2 pick. But we got him, Alex Sarr. He was a beast. Cody Williams, he was really good in game. He hasn't really done much in the NBA thus far, but I really like Cody Williams, obviously being a Jazz fan. And this card was really fun to use. I remember he was the dude that I pulled in like the free pack that they dropped. I don't know if it was a locker code. Donovan Clingan, a 7'3" animal. Kyle Filipowski, also a Utah Jazz beast. It's weird because Kyle was supposed to be like a lottery pick, but he fell to the 2nd round because everybody was tripping about his fiance being like fucking weirdo or something. And Kyle Filipowski was a beast. Justin Edwards, so this is the undrafted guy that I was talking about. He didn't even get picked in this NBA draft, but he somehow still made it to this next drop, which was pretty interesting. We had other players such as Matas Buzelis, Nikola Topic, who hasn't even played a game, but he was also a beast too because he's like a 6'7" point guard. Nikola Topic was a beast in game. Reed Shepard, he was all right. Rob Dillingham, he was a troll. Ron Holland was actually pretty freaking beastly too. I remember playing with him. Stephon Castle. I mean, damn, dude, I don't even remember this card being in the game because I didn't play with him. I didn't get him because these players were actually really hard to get because there was the gambling only concept that NBA 2K24 was ran upon. It was just terrible that year because, Zach Edey, he was a hot commodity, but no one was getting him unless you spent a shitload of money to get him in packs. So, he was also 7'5", so Zach Edey was a monster. I didn't get to play with him, but yeah, these were the players in NBA 2K24. Let's see what players were missing in this draft. Looking at the 2024 NBA draft, obviously we didn't get the number 1 pick in Zachary Risachet, which was weird. Maybe 2K just didn't get the rights to some of these players such as Scoot Henderson, Tijon Salon, Devin Carter and Bub Carrington weren't in the game. Neither was Khalil Ware or Jared McCain or Dalton Connect. So yeah, a lot of these players didn't make it into the drop. I mean, you can only drop so much, but we had an undrafted player in Justin Hamilton. Was that his name? Justin Edwards? Justin Edwards, not Justin Hamilton. It was Justin Edwards. He didn't even get drafted, and somehow he made it to the next drop. So that was kind of weird. It doesn't happen for some of these players, a lot of these players really, because how many players were dropped? 12. Yeah, so it's looking like about an average of 12 players are being dropped in every single next promo. So this is going to be really interesting to see for NBA 2K25. So before we look into the NBA 2K25 next promo drop, let's go look at some of the top prospects from this year's draft. So going over to Tankathon, my Utah Jazz are sitting here tied with number 2. Hopefully we can get the number 1 pick, but let's go over to the mock draft right here. So I could see like a pretty decent amount of at least the lottery making it. Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, and VJ Edgecombe. All of these guys are going to be super fun to use, being that Dylan Harper is a 6'6" point guard. Ace Bailey is a 6'10" small forward shooting guard. He's going to be very fun to use. Same thing with VJ Edgecombe because he is very athletic. And Cooper Flagg, obviously he's the top pick, so he's going to make it for sure. I don't know about Jackasonis. I know that Trey Johnson will probably make it. I don't know about Con Knipple. I mean, he's on the team with Cooper Flagg. Same thing with Common Malowatch, but I think that he'll make it too. It's kind of hard to predict which players are going to show up in this year's next promo. So I could definitely see a lot of these top guys like Igor Demon. He's been like sliding. He was like up to number 5 earlier this year, and he's dropped all the way down to 13, but he's a 6'9" point guard. So that could be really interesting to see in game. So I'm definitely predicting these top 4 making it into the game, at least with Trey Johnson, Common Malowatch, Asa Noel will probably make it too. I don't know about Noah Essingwe. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name. I probably am. I don't know if these international players have any trouble like distributing their rights to 2K or something like that. But you know, it's kind of hard to say. I can see, you know, Jeremiah Fears and Derek Queen making it too. Igor Demon making it. Past the top 14, those are obviously like all the big names that everybody knows about right now. But all these other guys, you know, who knows if they're gonna make it. I can see Nolan Traore making it because he's had some buzz. So I'm going to predict that everybody on this list except for Noah and like Kasparas Jackasonis make it. I'm obviously like gonna be like pretty wrong. I don't know. I mean, I would love to see each one of these players into the game, but 2K's only been dropping them in batches of 12. Maybe 2K does something new this year and they drop like the top 30 projected picks. You never know. That would be pretty cool to see. So these are all the guys obviously that are going to be slotted into that 2K25 next promo. All right, you guys. So the NBA draft is going to be taking place Wednesday, June 25th of 2025. I know it's not official by 2K, but by past years, we can pretty much say with confidence that Wednesday, June 25th is going to be the day that this year's next promo for 2K25 is going to be dropped with players such as Cooper Flagg, Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, VJ Edgecombe, so on and so forth. That's when it's going to be coming this year to NBA 2K25 MyTeam. Now to end off the video, guys, I just want to go over and see if we can find any card art, any created cards that have been made by you guys this year. You know, there's going to be a lot of custom cards that have come out. We're going to be looking and seeing if we can find any of these players. Now going through randomly, we do see a bunch of like random ass card art. I mean, anybody can hop on and create some of these cards, so it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, okay, so we got our first one right here. This is going to be Cooper Flagg, the number 1 pick of this year, and what his card art is going to potentially look like in NBA 2K25. I mean, look at that. That's pretty sick, man. I mean, they even blurred out like the jersey name and everything, and that's a pretty tough picture, man. It even has the next promo right here. They're obviously all going to be dark matters too, so a lot of these players, they're going to be the very best version of what they could possibly be in this year's game because they're going to be dark matters. They're going to have, you know, really good sigs. They're going to have saucy animations, good stats and everything. So it's going to be really fun to play with these guys. This is going to be something to look forward to and be really excited about. It's going to be very fun using Cooper Flagg in NBA 2K25 MyTeam. He's going to be a 6'9", like small forward, power forward. I wouldn't be surprised if they have him as a shooting guard like this card suggests right here. So let's go ahead and try to look at some other cards if we can find them. Going down, you know, we have a bunch of custom card art. I mean, you can make whoever the heck this chick is right here. You can make that type of card art. I guess we could just search the card name too, just to save us a little more time. Let's see if we could type in a Dylan Harper and see if we pull up anything. Yeah, so Dylan Harper isn't really popping up right here. Let's keep on looking. Okay, Ron Harper Jr. I don't think this is I don't think this is Dylan Harper, is it? Yeah, so yeah, I don't think that's Dylan Harper, Ron Harper Jr. So let's go ahead and look for some other cards. Are we gonna get an Ace Bailey at least? Hey, yes, so we get an Ace Bailey right here. It's not going to be a next card, but it is going to be a Shades of card. Now that was a concept in 2K23 with a lot of the rookies that came out. So Ace Bailey, you know, that's a really cool card art right there. This is going to be also similar to the card art that we see in this year's drop, with the next promo. Him being in a Toronto Raptors uniform is kind of tough, I'm not going to lie. Hopefully, you know, the Jazz can pick up someone like him, but hey, it's all up to luck right now. We don't know what's going to happen. This is obviously being recorded long before the draft lottery, the NBA draft, and I know the future me is watching this right now and be like, oh, if you only knew, bro, if you only knew. So that's Ace Bailey's card art. Let's see if we can find another card. Wow, P. Giddy is crazy, bro. So we're gonna end it off by just looking at a bunch of Cooper Flagg card art, because not a lot of other NBA draft prospects are being created in this all these custom cards, but hey, Cooper Flagg is getting a lot of them. Hey, that's pretty tough right there. You know, next promo with Cooper Flagg. That'd be cool if they could show off their college jerseys, but it's probably some rights issue. I mean, look at this. Yeah, Cooper Flagg, I mean, that's not the greatest picture right there, but Cooper Flagg played on the Team USA Select team. So just look at that, bro. Like, Cooper Flagg with a USA jersey on. That's your card art right there, bro. Put Cooper Flagg in a USA uniform and put him in the game, 2K. That would be freaking sick. Ooh, I kind of like this one right here, you know, Cooper Flagg, you know, with the older card art from like NBA 2K23. I guess that's 2K24 and NBA 2K22s. That's what the card art looked like back then. So I think that's really cool. I think these next cards in this year's promo are going to look fire. I think they're going to be really sick. It's going to be really fun to use all of these players in game. It's coming the 25th of June of this year. It's going to be a really fun time of year when those guys come out, and it's coming. It's on its way, you guys. So that's going to be something to look forward to. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you made it to this point, I appreciate you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.